So not even spot.
Oh, not even close.
I mean, do you think coin shops would be buying for half of spot or maybe better?
Maybe less than half on these.
Really?
Over the years, I bought a lot of different types of silver from the US Mint, and there are two types that I used to love, but I have now changed my mind. I'm going to talk about what they are and why, so let's get into it.
The worst day on Wall Street since the crash of 1987.
We're now down 43%.
This could be the most serious recession in decades.
Protect your retirement with gold and silver IRAs. Learn more at sdbullion.com/IRA. Thank you so much for watching. I do sincerely appreciate it. Now, before I get into the two types of US Mint coins that I no longer recommend for stacking or investment, first I want to talk about some of the stuff I've laid out here. Let's start with the America the Beautiful silver quarters. These are absolutely gorgeous. They're fun to buy. This one happens to be from Oregon. It is Mount Hood, and it is a quarter. So you can actually spend this at a store if you wanted to, but I would not recommend doing that because it's worth so much more than a quarter, obviously, because of the 5 ounces of silver in it. They actually came out in 2 different finishes. I've got them here, but yeah, really cool series. They did one for every single state. We also have junk silver. This is 90% silver, 10% copper. These were all US Mint silver dimes, quarters, and half dollars prior to 1965. So I love buying this stuff. It is recommended for stacking. Then I've got some tubes of American Silver Eagles, a couple graded ones as well. But when it comes to American Silver Eagles, I like buying just the raw coins. This one is from 1996. It is the rarest bullion silver eagle. It's got some nice blue toning on it as well. So a really cool piece there. But let's get to the coins that I don't like anymore. And I'm going to start with the war nickels. So these are Jefferson nickels. They were minted between 1942 and 1945. They actually started halfway through the year in 1942 because they wanted to use the nickel for the war effort during World War II, which is why they call these war nickels. So these are 35% silver. They also contain copper and manganese. But I used to love stacking these, and I put out a video about 6 years ago, and let me play a clip from that.
These are the most fractional of all constitutional silver, even more fractional than the silver dime. So recognizable, so trusted. These are essentially never counterfeited because they're so small. There's just no point to spend all that money to counterfeit something like this for $1 profit, right? They're gonna weigh down your safe, so that's like basically free security, and also they're ridiculously cheap. So I don't know why you wouldn't be stacking these.
Now, those were some pretty good points, and I think some of them still hold up. But when it comes to buying these coins as an investment, things change drastically. And before I get into why I don't like these, let me talk about the other type of coin that I don't like anymore, and that is the 40% silver Kennedy half dollars. These ones were minted between the years 1965 and 1970, and just like the war nickels, I put out a video talking about why I liked these. Let's share a clip from that video.
When you're stacking silver, you have to understand that there might be a point in time when you'd actually have to use your silver to barter with, like SHTF, etc. Now, each one of these is about 1/7 of an ounce of silver, which makes them able to be broken up much more than an ounce of silver, right? So if the price of silver goes up dramatically in the future, then it's really hard to break up an ounce. It's nice to have fractional silver for buying, bartering, etc. If you want to get a good deal on silver, 40% silver Kennedy halves are probably one of the best deals you can get. Now, almost all of the coin shops that I go to, if they have these, they will sell them to me at spot or even cheaper. So if you're trying to stack silver on the cheap, this is a great option.
Definitely some good points as well, but over the years, my opinion has changed about these coins, and one of the main reasons for that was I started filming videos at Harry's Coin Shop, and in one of the videos, we talk about the worst types of silver coins for stacking, and I got to hear it from a dealer's perspective. So let's play a clip from that video. So we're looking at some of the stuff that would be good to stack, you know, silver rounds, silver eagles, silver bars.
Maples, don't forget maples.
Maples, absolutely.
From the last video.
But what would be something that is bad to stack? What would you want to avoid?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's going to be a few hundred coin dealers out here who will hate me even more after this video, but let's just level with the viewers. I'm going to have Adrian start out with some of the more commonly seen things.
Okay, so what do we got here?
Yeah, so we've got some more nickels here that are 35% silver.
This is a U.S. mint nickel that was made during World War II, right?
42 to 45, so halfway through 42 they started making them out of silver for the war effort. They used nickel, you know, as a strategic metal for weapons and so on. So yeah, from 42 to 45 these were made in 35% silver, and you know, the melt value on these is about $1.27 each.
Okay.
But you know, when it comes time to selling them, you know, there's quite a bit of a spread.
Yeah, most cone dealers are going to give you quite a bit less than $1 for those.
Really?
Yes.
So not even spot?
Oh, not even close.
I mean, do you think like coin shops would be buying for half of spot, or maybe better?
Maybe less than half on these.
Really?
If you recall an earlier video we did about things refiners hate, this is one of them, because anything less than 80% silver has way too much waste, and you'll get, you know, maybe 60% on the melt from the refiner because of all the waste. So I'm not saying they're not fun to collect, and if you get one and change, it's a piece of silver for a nickel, but the fact of the matter is, for stacking purposes, it's not a good move.
And then what is this one here, Adrian?
So these are 40% half. So these were minted from 1965 to 1970.
Okay.
And like I said, they contain 40% silver. And again, these melt for about $3.35. But then again, kind of like the war nickel, when it comes time to sell these or what we do with them, you know, sometimes end up selling them under melt.
So basically the different coins that are lower percentages of silver, less than sterling, for example, these are not as desirable and don't really sell back for very much.
Exactly.
You have to have an eye towards disposing of it down the road. Coin dealers will pay far less than spot on that, and if you think you might need it for barter someday, it's going to be a harder one to explain than constitutional or the 3 or 4 9s fine silver rounds that are out there.
Well, there you have it. And when I actually did the math on the war nickels, I realized that I had paid about $1 for each one of these. And even though silver price has gone from $18 an ounce when I purchased them to over $40 an ounce now, I'm actually still not able to make money off of these if I were to go sell them to a coin shop. Now, obviously, I could still barter with some of these coins, and I could probably get a lot of the value that way. But if I were to just take these into a coin shop and sell them back as if I were selling any one of my other silver investments, I would probably lose money. So I do not recommend buying these coins now or, well, anytime in the foreseeable future, because I don't think things are going to change unless, of course, the technology for refining silver gets better or something like that. I just don't think anything that's less than 90% should be bought for an investment. If you want to buy silver from the U.S. Mint, just buy the raw American Silver Eagles. Now, I actually used to like these a lot back in the day, and then my opinion changed after COVID when these got really scarce and the premiums were super high, but the premiums have come back down, and I once again like stacking the American Silver Eagles. I hope this video is helpful to new stackers, but also people who have been stacking a while. You've seen the war nickels, you've seen the 40%ers, you know that this stuff is really cheap to buy and to acquire, but on the other side of the coin, when it comes to selling this stuff, you do not want to have to sell it to a coin shop because you're probably going to lose money. So just be careful when you stack this stuff. If you have anything to add, let me know down below in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Silver Dragons out.